Good afternoon, this is your worldwide weather update for Friday, June 26, 2026. Let's start off with some World Cup games. Norway against France. It's going to be partly sunny skies. Going to be a little warm, but actually not too bad. It's going to be a decent afternoon for you guys there. And then Senegal versus Iraq. It should also be a decent afternoon. Pretty much the same thing. Going to be a little warm. Norway expected for the game. Going to be a great afternoon for the game. And then for Cabo Verde versus Saudi Arabia. Also going to be a decent afternoon. Going to be a little warm, but it's in Houston, so it's about what we're used to in Houston. It's going to be a little later in the day, though, so it's not going to be as hot as it will be earlier in the day. And it's also an indoor stadium, too, so at least we got that going for us. But if traveling to and from the game, it's going to be quite warm going to and from the stadium. Then we start getting into the rain chances. Uruguay versus Spain. In Mexico, it's going to be pretty wet and stormy. Got a few chances of rain, maybe a few thunderstorms. Hopefully the thunderstorms hold off, but just be prepared in case they don't. It's going to be a pretty day for the game. The soccer still plays during the rain, but if it storms, that's when they have to delay the game. Then moving on to Egypt versus Iran, we might have a few rain showers to worry about. Shouldn't be as bad as it is in Mexico. Just a few scattered showers, and again, they're still going to play soccer if it still rains, but it just might not be the best for the fans. And then for New Zealand versus Belgium, got a few rain chances, but not as high as it's going to be down in Seattle. Maybe a few scattered showers, but hopefully we can escape the game unscathed, or at least maybe just a few rain showers, but hopefully not the entire game. It's going to be a little cool, though. Temperatures in the lower teens in the degrees Celsius. But at least it's an indoor stadium, or at least it has a retractable roof. So hopefully that'll help out with their soccer game there. And then I'm doing for the Formula 1 race on this weekend. It's going to be sunny and hot. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-30s during race day, so it's going to be quite hot if you're going out to watch the game. Not seeing any rain, though, in the forecast for the game, though, so at least we won't have that to worry about, though. And speaking of which, we'll move into our world weather headlines. Major heat wave continues for Europe. We still got our red heat alerts. Got a few tropical systems in the Pacific that we got to talk about. And then things are pretty quiet across the rest of the world. Just a few wildfire threats continuing in Kazakhstan and heavy rain in China. So moving on to the heat in Europe. Here are your weather alerts for Europe for Friday. And all of this red here is your level 3 out of 3 for the extreme heat. These are all pretty much heat alerts. You can see if we go down here, heat. Look at all these thermometers. These are all for heat. That's for Poland. Let me go to Europe. Yep, heat. These are all alerts for heat. It's still gonna be quite hot across portions of Western and Central Europe for the next few days. It looks like the pattern's so finally gonna break down this week and into next week, but then the pattern's gonna form up over the United States, so we're gonna be dealing with our heat wave then next week and into the 4th of July for us. But I'll talk about that in my USA video if I have time to make that. Going to quickly go over the temperatures for next few days in parts of Europe. Let's put the model into motion here. And we'll animate this a little bit. Come on. If it'll let me. There we go. Temperatures for, I believe this is, hold on, let me do the models. There we go. Time's on the top there. It's in Eastern Standard Time in the United States, so basically New York time. Let's go forward here a little bit, though. I can see temperatures are going to be for Friday, which is today. Temperatures were in the high 30s. For Saturday, they're going to be a little bit cooler, but still quite warm across portions of Western Europe. And then Sunday, still going to be warm. Highs in the upper 30s as well. And then Monday, yeah, that's when you can see the pattern starts to finally break down. The heat moves over towards Eastern Europe, or Western Europe's finally getting a bit of a break. And look at that, will be about 10 to 15 degrees warmer on Monday and Tuesday compared to where we are today and tomorrow. So the pattern's finally going to break down across Western Europe late this weekend and into early next week. Moving on to the tropics here, we still have our 2 tropical systems here in the Western Pacific. We have Typhoon Mekkhala. It's not a typhoon anymore, it's just a severe tropical storm, and it's really just going to be big rain and maybe some gusty winds and some high waves for Japan, but not too impactful there unless you're right along the coast. And then Higos 2, pretty much the same thing, just going to be a tropical storm that's going to skirt the Tokyo area. So it's going to be a pretty wet few days for portions of Japan. Here's the weather alerts for Taiwan, though. We still have our heavy rain warnings here for basically the western half of Taiwan throughout today, and still in effect. And then for Japan, We continue with thunderstorm warnings across most of Japan, or actually thunderstorm advisories. Going on to high waves, we have high wave warnings, level 2 out of 3 there for Okinawa and the southern Japanese islands, and a few high wave advisories for parts of Japan that's level 1 out of 3. Storm and gale warnings for portions of Okinawa, and then flood alerts, a little bit in some near Hiroshima in Japan, but not too many flood alerts there. Some landslide warnings there too for southern portions of Japan, and then some heavy rain alerts too for southern Japan as well. If we go to the forecast then for the next few days, I'm sure it's going to be quite wet. Rain for Thursday, rain for Friday, Saturday, and finally Sunday we get a break from the rain. So that's finally when the tropical systems will start to move out, will be on Sunday. Then moving on to our systems in the Eastern Pacific, we now have one system here that we're keeping an eye on. It's expected to develop as an 80% chance of development within the next 7 days. Not expected to develop though within the next 2 days though, and is not expected to impact land at all. Might lead to some high risk, rip current risk for Hawaii and parts of the California and Mexican beaches, but as far as direct impacts, that is not expected right now. And then last but not least, we still continue with the wildfire threats in Kazakhstan. Level 3 out of 3 for the wildfire alerts, and a few heat alerts too for Kazakhstan. And then for China, heavy rainfall continues for the southern part of China. We could see rainfall 50 to 250 millimeters. Looks like most areas in southern China, though, are going to see anywhere from 25 to 100 millimeters there of heavy rainfall. But that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know if you still want me to keep those sports forecasts in this video. I might actually do those separately in a separate post, just so I can get these videos out sooner. And then that way I can do the sports forecasts if I have time to get them done. Because those actually take quite a bit of time, especially with the World Cup going on right now. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. And if you're in Europe, make sure you stay cool out there. And see you later, guys.